One Zambia, One Nation. It's exactly 18 hours. Time for the news on TV2. We first start by looking at the headlines making our news this evening. The Lusaka City Council LCC Fast Track Court has convicted 40 people for engaging in street vending and buying goods from undesignated areas. Butchers in Lusaka have disclosed that the ban on meat products from Central Province will cause a shortage of the product in the markets. In foreign news, U.S. President Donald Trump has lashed out at Syrian President Bashar al-Assad and his allies Russia and Iran over a suspected chemical attack that killed many. To present the news in detail, my name is Margaret Chisulo. The Lusaka City Council LCC Fast Track Court has convicted 40 people for engaging in street vending and buying goods from undesignated areas. The convicts were apprehended by the combined team of Lusaka City Council Public Health Inspectors, State and Council Police from the Central Business District and Kamala trading areas last week. They were handed over to the legal department of the LCC for prosecutions in the Fast Track Court, resulting in the convictions. LCC Acting Public Relations Manager George Sichimba confirmed the convictions to TV2 News in a statement today. Mr. Sichimba says out of the 40 convictions, 37 were convicted for engaging in street vending, 2 were convicted for wrong display of merchandise, while 1 was convicted for buying goods from undesignated areas. He has urged Lusaka residents to realize that the SI 10 of 2018 on control of street vending and other nuisances have also restricted people from buying goods or merchandise from undesignated places or streets. Some vendors have been attempting to go back on the streets in the CBD and Kamala after the withdrawal of defense forces 2 weeks ago. Meanwhile, some traders in Lusaka's Chipata compound have relocated back on the streets. A check by TV2 News found some vendors conducting their business along the roadside. The vendors have told TV2 News that the trading spaces in the existing markets in the township are not enough to cater for all the traders. But when contacted for a comment, Raphael Chota Ward Councillor Joseph Tamba acknowledged the shortage of trading spaces in the existing markets. We have details in this report.
Public Health Act and issued the statutory instrument number 79 in a bid to avert the cholera cases in Lusaka. It was discovered that food sold on the streets was the main driver of cholera, and to date the streets in Lusaka have been left free and vending has been banned permanently. But this is not the case in all the compounds, as some compounds like Mrs. and Chipata compounds have reverted to trading in undesignated places. The traders are well aware of the negative effects on trading in undesignated places. They claim that the market spaces are not enough to cater for all the traders.
Selling along the streets is not a good idea. Reason being is that it makes the environment to be dirty. Yeah. The major issue why people they are selling on the outside or along the road, their markets are too small. They are too small.
Isatikana kujitosa ukutipeleka market. Kai market ni ngoni.
Sichonesa much in terms of location manually siwa wamezana, and especially na doti food. Baleta doti mlodi, as you can see madoti mumbali vile takolera. Ndio vile taisa sasa na kolera. Beta kaso wapangira koche a nice market wangera na cancel wako no kuchipata compound. Babo wapangira che market msho wangara che stable che market.
And Raphael Chota Ward 22 Councillor Joseph Tamba is aware of the vending activities in Chipata compound. Mr. Tamba agreed with the traders that the spaces are not enough and urged the vendors to ensure that they clean their trading spaces after conducting their businesses.
I am here to agree with them, but I'm urging them to put the surrounding must be clean, and I will be going through to check wherever they are trading, and I will also invite the Lusaka City Council through Public Health Department to come and check the places where they're trading. If they found that they are trading in the place where there is nothing which can be allowed to be trading that side, I think the authority, they have got something to do, and it's up to them. Let them maintain greenness. If they will not maintain greenness, we have got no option. We'll chase them from that areas.
Government has embarked on an ambitious project of constructing new markets in the city to ensure that traders operate in a clean and safe environment. Delphista Lungu, TV2 News in Lusaka.
And butchers in Lusaka have disclosed that the ban on meat products from Central Province following the outbreak of foot and mouth disease in the area will cause a shortage of the product in the markets. They say Central Province is closer to Lusaka, and Southern Province on its own will not be able to sustain the high demand. They say they are hopeful that the disease will be eradicated soon to normalize the supply of the products on the market. We have details in this report.
It is almost business as usual in this marketplace in Lusaka. Customers are lining up to buy a delicacy that is much enjoyed by most households. However, butchers have told this reporter that they have started struggling with meeting the demand for meat products. This has been attributed to the recent ban on meat products from Chisamba and Chibombo districts in Central Province following an outbreak of foot and mouth disease in the area. They have disclosed the effect the ban has had on their business.
This area, they sound like some southern province. For this distance,
zingakwanirisa zachepa maningi because right now abantu bakudya maona ku Southern Province leo ni Sunday, abato kuja sisebenza, they will start working tomorrow. By the time they start slaughtering kuja, it will be the whole day Monday, nyama zakapezeka kuno pa Tuesday.
Lloyd Kapopo is a meat product supplier, and he weighs in on the topic, saying a shortage of the commodity might be experienced soon.
So abavena baninga kusotamba kuzamba kenda kusana Southern Mant. Sizangala enough but kulingana na lamulo yao wena wapanga. Kuti mizamba kutenga kwa mene huko. Then ikasira bani zange na kufutu kambo tenga. So tiembekeza bani yao but apa so tienda ku Southern.
Last week, Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries announced a ban on the movement of animals and meat products from Chibombo and Chisamba to try and halt the spread of the disease. Over 1,500 cattle in Chisamba and Chibombo are affected by foot and mouth disease, which has broken out in the respective areas. This is from the total of 166,800 cattle in the two districts. Elizabeth Nyambi, TV2 News in Lusaka.
This is TV2 News at 18 hours. We take our first commercial break. More stories coming up. Do you stay with us? Welcome back. In other stories, works on the construction of a drainage in Lusaka's Mrs. compound have temporarily stalled, awaiting the installation of culverts. Chawama Member of Parliament Lawrence Sichalwe has confirmed the development to TV2 News in an interview. Mr. Sichalwe says works are expected to commence as soon as the Lusaka Provincial Office procures the culverts for the drainage. And Mrs. residents are happy as the drainage will reduce flooding in the area. Details in the following report.
Rains could have gone, but the flooding waters in Lusaka's Mrs. compound will surely take time to dry. Houses are still submerged in water, but the reduced rainfall has probably made the situation less a burden. A TV2 news crew has visited the affected area to check on the construction works on the drainage meant to reduce floods. However, works here seems to have stalled, as the area Member of Parliament Lawrence Sichalwe explains.
We were awaiting the procurement of culverts. These culverts are meant to cross the water across Kafue Road. And once they cross Kafue Road, they will then take over to Chilongola Stream and Chilongola Stream into Kafue River. So Lusaka Province has since procured the culverts, and we should be moving from where we had stopped now.
Mr. Sichalwe has however reiterated that the area is unplanned settlement, hence floods have persisted. But plans are underway to make the area better.
And the construction was being done haphazardly. There is no council approval, and going forward to eradicate the flooding, we may have to redevelop the area. Redevelop it in the sense that it would need to be replanted.
And residents feel that once the drainage is complete, will reduce floods in the area.
Flood situation, it was bad at the first. Now I see that it is at least, because they have constructed some drainages. So, and the one which they are constructing, I thought that it will help us. No floods the coming year.
Manga drainage yani wakumba kuja ingapezeke tandizo kuchokera manzi kuchoka ku mosque kuja ni manzi kuti yachoka manzi, so ja drainage yani wakumba kuja maybe ingapezeke kutandizika kwa manzi kuti wangachoke manzi wati ngatandizikete wantu kuno kuti nkareko free na manzi.
Drainage yapanga kuja ingatandizire manzi kuchoka kuja kozi nakweze kuja kwenze manzi, so ikali ngako manzi kuchoka yonse yali kuno kupereka kwa mene kwa yaendera manzi, so ingacha reduce.
Last month, the Lusaka City Council started constructing this drainage, in which some structures which were built on the way were brought down. Lucky Piri, TV2 News, Lusaka.
And in other news, Wapula Province Minister Nixon Chilangwa says government will forge partnerships in the delivery and strengthening of health systems in order to meet people's expectations. Zanis reports that Mr. Chilangwa was speaking during the launch of the partnership between AIDS Healthcare Foundation and Mansa Central Clinic in Mansa yesterday.
Government wants to ensure a health population in which the prevalence of major diseases such as tuberculosis, malaria, and the HIV/AIDS pandemic are brought under control with a progressively reduced incidence rate in both urban and rural areas. To achieve this vision, Luapula Province Administration has taken a step by partnering with AIDS Healthcare Foundation in order to strengthen the delivery of quality healthcare to the people.
The provision of buffer stocks by HF ensures continuity of care for patients, which is in line with government policy. And it excites all of us here today to hear that this particular partnership between Mansa Central Clinic and HF is going to have a reliable financing structure on a monthly basis.
The health minister, who also witnessed the launch of the partnership between Mansa Central Clinic and AIDS Healthcare Foundation, commended the organization for supporting government in the implementation of the health strategic plan.
The partnership with AIDS Healthcare Foundation will not stop at Mansa Central Clinic. It will only be a beginning. And like I said, with proper ownership, the partnership shall be nurtured more meaningfully. And we believe that this support will extend to many more facilities and lives will be saved through this critical partnership.
An AIDS Healthcare Foundation country program manager has pledged to continue helping government in the delivery of quality health services.
I wish to assure you of the AHF support and presence. We've got a strong team which can be called upon in the event that there are any challenges beyond what has been agreed upon. We are flexible, we are nimble, and we take pride in responding quickly to our clients.
With appropriate levels of commitment and support from government and cooperating partners, Zambia will definitely see a significant improvement in its health system and delivery of quality healthcare to the people. Godfrey Kumbi, reporting for Zanis in Mansa District, Luapula Province.
Seventh-day Adventist Church Dorcas Society mothers have donated assorted cleaning materials in Lusaka's Mtendere Clinic. The Dorcas mothers also took time to clean the surrounding. SDM Mtendere Mission District Dorcas mothers leader Ruth Mukea says the church must always be there to supplement government efforts to alleviate poverty. Details in this report.
They've refused to be in the news for the wrong reasons. These are women from the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Dorcas Society. The Dorcas mothers have opted to impact positively on people's lives in the community. On Sunday, the Dorcas mothers visited Mutendere Clinic, where they cleaned the surroundings and also donated assorted cleaning materials to the clinic. For them, the Dorcas Society is to do good deeds and give gifts of mercy. SDM Tendere Mission District Dorcas mother leader Ruth Muyeka says the church must always be there to supplement government's efforts to alleviate people's sufferings.
The government could not afford alone. We are there as community members also to help around. This Mutendere Clinic is in our mission district. So as Dorcas workers, we are there to come in and help and donate anything that they ask for in a special way so that they can maybe alleviate their problems they are facing. The government alone cannot be able to do so. As Dorcas workers, we are here to make sure that we save the community.
And SDM Tendere Mission District Acting Pastor Keshas Mobita says the society wants to ensure that the hygiene is maintained to avert any outbreaks.
We only hope that even with a few items that we have brought, they'll go a long way in alleviating the efforts of the clinic as well as the government, so that we are able to keep the place much safer, to ensure that all of us live in a better situation even when we are sick. As a church, we feel happy in the community that we live in to be able to participate to ensure that we uplift the health standards of our community. And so we are happy as Dorcas Society to have participated in this unique program where we are able to participate into good health living.
As the saying goes, cleanliness is next to godliness. Acts of such nature are key in maintaining a clean and healthy society. Delphista Lungu, TV2 News in Lusaka.
You're still watching TV2 News at 18 hours. We take our final break. More stories coming up. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching TV2 News at 18 hours. In foreign news, U.S. President Donald Trump has lashed out at Syrian President Bashar Assad and his allies Russia and Iran over a suspected chemical attack, saying there will be a big price to pay. Scores of people are said to have been killed in an attack on the rebel-held town of Dama on Saturday. The UK called for an urgent inquiry, while Pope Francis said nothing could justify using chemical weapons. Both Syria and Russia deny a chemical attack took place. And in sports news, the Zambian women national football team will face Zimbabwe in the second round of the 2018 Women's Africa Cup of Nations Ghana qualifier. Chipolopolo have advanced to the next round of the qualifiers after setting for a 1-1 draw, making it 4-4 on aggregate when they played Tanzania at Nkoloma Stadium this afternoon. Chipolopolo were faced to register a goal when striker Rafael Kundanji scored in the first minute, and it took a second-half striker for Tanzania to go level with the home side when Mwanahamis Omar scored in the 72nd minute to give the visiting side hopes of winning the game. Both teams created numerous chances in the first and second halves, with the home side missing goals that would have decided the game with minutes to spare. Winning coach Albert Kachinga has thanked his side for ensuring that the team progressed to next round. And Tanzania women's team coach assistant Edna Lema says her squad will look at what was lacking in both the first and second leg and see how best the team can be developed further. And the Football Association of Zambia outgoing General Secretary Ponga Liwewe says the progression of the Chipolopolo to the next round is a good boost of women's football that continues to grow in the country. Finally, the provincial government of Gauteng province in South Africa has honored Zambia's football icon Kalusha Bwalia for his outstanding contribution to football in Zambia and African continent as a whole. Gauteng Province Premier David Makura awarded Kalusha, together with 22 other former African footballers and football administrators, at the Legends Dinner Awards held in Johannesburg, South Africa. Makura said Kalusha was honored for being the only Southern African footballer to have won the African Footballer of the Year award in 1988. He noted that Kalusha was only known for his fighting spirit of helping to put together a brand new Zambia national team following the 1993 Gabon air crash that claimed the lives of the entire national team. Makura added that Kalusha deserved the Premier's Award of Social Cohesion Games, as it was during his tenure as President of Football Association of Zambia that he led his team to become African champions in 2012. He said the Zambian soccer legend, together with the other 22 football legends from Cameroon and South Africa, contributed to national building and the liberation of South Africa through the medium of sport. And Zambia's High Commissioner to South Africa, Emmanuel Mwamba, said Zambia was proud of Kalusha for his immense achievements as a soccer player and administrator. And Kalusha thanked the Gauteng province government for the recognition of his contribution to the development of football in Zambia and African continent. He said it was his privilege to have been with the Zambian national team from when he was still young, his retirement, and hoped that more Zambians would be supported in their football career. This is according to a statement issued by First Secretary to the Press and Public Relations at the Zambian High Commissioner in South Africa, Naomi Nyawali. As we end the news at 18 hours on TV2, we look at the headlines once again. The Lusaka City Council LCC Fast Track Court has convicted 40 people for engaging in street vending and buying goods from undesignated areas. The convicts were apprehended by the combined team of Lusaka City Council Public Health Inspectors, State and Council Police from the Central Business District and Kamala trading areas last week. Butchers in Lusaka have disclosed that the ban on meat products from Central Province following the outbreak of foot and mouth disease in the area will cause a shortage of the product in the markets. They say Central Province is closer to Lusaka and Southern Province on its own will not be able to sustain the high demands. In foreign news, U.S. President Donald Trump has lashed out at Syrian President Bashar Assad and his allies Russia and Iran over a suspected chemical attack, saying there will be a big price to pay. There we end the news at 18 hours. Join us for more news coming your way at 20 hours on TV2, the Pulse of Television. My name is Margaret Chisulo. Goodbye for now.